stand tall, I don't tuck my tail. Swear I'm hard as nails. Oh, they judge because my skin is pale. Like I ain't working scale. Bro, I'm raw just like the work. Used to numb the pain with perks. I was popping shit like candy, now I pop off in a verse. See my brothers.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about doubling down on what serves you. And I literally mean this, fuck the rest. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I feel like, like when us as humans are trying to better our lives, we're always so hyper aware on becoming aware of everything. It's like always find out your negative patterns, find out the negative things in your life, find out negative this, that. And to a degree, you do have to understand the negativities in your life to, remove those from your life and, manage them correctly because you don't need a lot of stressors in your life. But the emphasis of it is always on the negative, what you need to be better at. And when I read this book by Marcus Buckingham called Now Discover Your Strengths, it entirely changed the game for me because it pretty much said like, fuck what you're not good at. Why even focus on it? Why even allow space in your life and in your mental real estate for things you're not good at if it doesn't serve any purpose in your life, And that's what I mean about doubling down on what serves you, right? Double down on the things that are good for you. And I want to break it down to 4 avenues of your life, which is career, personal, emotional, and fitness. Like these 4 avenues of your life, right? Like your career advancements, right? Like I find for me personally, when I was trying to fit who I was as a person, my education, because I went to school for business administration, got a management, a bachelor's degree in management or a diploma, sorry. And I found with my career, I was so hyper aware of everything that I needed to focus on to be more professional, to be more articulate with certain things. And, almost that filter of dry, non-existent of a personality human. And for years, like upwards of 4, 5, 6 years, I was struggling with trying to fit myself into this mold. And when I started to branch out into more like from corporate to franchise, from franchise to now being an entrepreneur, owning my own business full time, like I've noticed that 90% of those parameters that I needed to fit, aka 90% of things I was focusing on that I didn't fucking enjoy, wasn't even good at, or didn't even serve me as a human, aren't even relevant or exist in my life anymore. I'm not saying that it's a complete one-off or like, you remove these things and it's like you're just benefit elsewhere in your life. That's not what I'm saying. You find other paths in your life that you have to figure out. Like, that's a whole other different conversation. But nonetheless, it's like, same thing with like personal, emotional fitness, right? Let's say fitness, for example, like everyone always thinks their ideology of fitness has to be whatever their coaches is or whatever like someone they see on Instagrams is or like whatever their insecurities is telling them, whether they're scared of like, like just severely scared and thinking they got to go to the gym like 7 times a week, do 4 hours of cardio, eat nothing, like all these different like whatever your imagination brings you, because there's a lot of stigmas with that. But it's like, if it doesn't serve you and it doesn't align with you, who gives a fuck? Like prime example, I don't like sports. Not that I don't like sports. I shouldn't say it that way, but like I've never had the opportunity to play them. That's the right word to use. Like I never had the opportunity to play them, so I don't feel very confident in them. So I don't. There's not a program in my life for sports. I support everyone that plays sports. I envy a lot of people that play sports because of the metabolic conditioning you get for like with the gym and like power output and things like that. I'm envious of that because I have to work harder for that in the gym. But like with fitness, like a lot of people that like play sports, they play volleyball, they play hockey, they play soccer, all these different things outside of the gym. Like that's literally part of your fitness regimen, part of your fitness routine. And there's a lot of people that don't even accredit this into their fitness routine, right? So then they're over there trying to like convince themselves to go to the gym 6 days a week on top of playing soccer, volleyball, baseball, whatever hell it is, 3 times a week on top of that. And it's like, you got to realize like your volume is so high at that point. And not to go on a tangent about the science behind it, but like the mentality behind it, right? It doesn't serve you to think to go to the gym 6 days a week on top of going to soccer. So double down on what you're good at. Understand that the base of your fitness routine, if you actually love what you do for sports, say soccer 3 times a week, that's where the base comes from. Your recovery has to be based off of that. And then where else do we have areas to plug in muscle building and strength training? Same thing with emotional and personal, right? Emotional is easy. Well, emotional and personal kind of goes into the same one, but it's like everyone thinks like we've all had a relationship where we've had our boundaries pressed, right? Where we're like, this doesn't feel right. And then, you go a few weeks or a few months by and then something else happens. You're like, this doesn't serve me, and or like you had a like relationship where like you have to do certain things to make the other partner feel secure and safe in the relationship. And I'm not talking about being like, an actual partner in a relationship. I'm talking about things to help them stay in their insecure box. Like, like don't go on Instagram in front of me or this, or don't no Snapchat or whatever these stupid, I can't even think of them because to be honest, I don't allow this type of shit in my life at all. Like, it's just like, to be honest, I just look at it beneath me. It's beneath me. It should be beneath you as well. That if you got to worry about what your partner's doing on their phone, like, what the fuck are you doing? Check yourself or check them or do something about it. But that's the thing, right? Like, like say you have an insecure partner that doesn't like you being on your phone, or you have an insecure partner that doesn't like certain things, or, whatever it may be. And then you're creating all these different algorithms in your life and boundaries to serve this partner to keep them in their state. And then it's like, that doesn't serve you. So fuck that. Double down on a daily pattern that serves you if you truly know you're not doing anything on your phone. Or whatever the negative outcome is for that situation. It's like, you don't need to have those avenues in your life. And same with personal too. Like, you can look inwards, right? Like personal and development, right? Like, we're our worst critics, right? So we're always trying to hyper analyze on what we could be better at. For me personally in the gym, like with fitness being such a big avenue of my life, like I would try to find so many different things that like, that gave me the validation I thought I was doing the right avenues of fitness, right? So I got institutionalized with like bodybuilding because like I just like felt like I needed to track the fuck out of my macros. I needed to know every single thing that like I was doing and putting in my body. And that ultimately led to like an addictions and everything. It was crazy because I was so obsessed with it and so hyper aware of it. But that's only because of my insecurities and that false sense of foundation and validation that it gave me by holding myself in that spot. Right. So it's like, once I found out the things that served me, like, eating 3 to 4 whole food, nutritious meals a day, just focusing on that versus every ingredient. There's times for that. Don't get me wrong. When I'm prepping for a show or, trying to get leaner for the summer or whatever it may be, like there's times for that. But with that, it's like, I don't need to hold myself in this box because it doesn't serve me. Right. And it's crazy too, because that could even bleed into like, your acceptance from the people around you, right? Because you think you need to be doing certain things to have a certain outcome, right? To fit in with society and all these things. And fuck it all, like find what works for you and literally just double down on it to 110%. Because like the thing about it is like there's stages that come with that. Like you're gonna have to like embrace the emotions of, doubling down on what serves you, because what that comes, you're losing some things, losing some patterns in your life, whatever that may be, which will have a ripple effect to the people around you, to yourself and other things like that. So you will be met with crossroads of something to like have to have some type of adversity you're gonna have to like kind of figure out to grow forward and kind of figure out like why you haven't doubled down on it before, something like that. But the biggest thing with all of this is like whatever like really 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 aligns with you and makes you feel whole as a person is like what you just need to focus on the entire side of it, right? And then as you go through like the cleansing period, like I'm kind of talking about like figuring out like the ripple effects, you're just gonna like almost feel like harder to stay the course with whatever makes your career feel better or more certain for yourself, whatever makes you feel personally more fulfilled and full of joy, whatever like cures and aligns with your emotional state, whatever helps you feel more, athletic and like you have your handle on your fitness and stuff, right? Like as you start to cleanse the things in your life that don't align with those things and start to align with them, you'll start to gain clarity. And that's the reason why I want to hyper aware or make you hyper aware, of doubling down on what serves you. Because I feel like, when you look at time, let's say, right, we have 24 hours in a day. We can only do so much with that time that we have, right? So why waste any time that we have on anything that doesn't serve us? Like truly, right? Like, and I mean that truly, like, and it is very hard to embrace this. The harder you embrace this, the harder it's going to be for your life to wrap around it. But that's the more beautiful your life is going to become. And that's what I mean about like having those stages of going through the cleansing of the emotions and the ripple effects of the people around you, and to find out the clarity of what you actually need to do. But look at it from the perspective of you literally only have 24 hours in a run of a day. And now imagine you use 4 hours a day of that to just try to do things that don't serve you. Like literally try to manage a relationship that doesn't serve you, and manage a personal own relationship with yourself pattern, like a self and internal dialogue, speaking to yourself, or a habit you have pattern, self-sabotage routine that you do, like that doesn't serve you, that you're taking time in a day. Imagine you're in your career, and I'm not going to deny not knowing how to change your career and get into a different career, but it's like, imagine just like not acknowledging that side of your life and being like, damn, like I'm putting all this time into getting this promotion. It's like, why the fuck do I even want this promotion? I don't even care about it. Same with your fitness, right? Like maybe you have a coach right now, or maybe you're following a routine or trying to follow a routine that like every time you like fucking try to go to the gym or eat healthy, you literally want to bang your head on the side of the wall. And because you're like just so frustrated that none of it resonates with you. You know, none of this has to, like, all of this time every day that you put into these actions and avenues does not have to be there. And imagine the return on investment you would get by putting that same amount of time into things that do serve you, you know? So double down on what serves you, and truly, 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 from the bottom of my heart to the top, fuck the rest. Stay the course the entire duration. You cleanse those ripple effects of the people around you and the emotions you're going to have to embrace to create more clarity for what it is this looks like for you. And then once you get even 1 to 10% more clarity, I can promise you the rest you're going to know exactly where you need to go. Other than that, I appreciate you guys all. Let's have a beautiful fucking week. And can you believe it's already fucking December? Like, goddamn. This time next month, literally 4 weeks from today, 5 weeks from today, it's going to be January 2024. Think of that, you know? So double down on what serves you, and honestly, fuck the rest. Let's go.
I stand tall, I don't